In his suicide note, he told me I was his reason for living. Why was I not enough? I breathe in deep, to the bottom of my lungs, let it out slowly, step onto the boat, and unlock the hatch. The air is stale and hot, smelling of wood wax, new canvas, and a hint of diesel. I haven't been aboard since before Ben died. Spiders have spun their homes in the corners of the cabin, and a layer of dust has settled on every surface. But the changes leave me breathless. The interior brightwork is varnished and glossy. The ugly original brown plaid cushion covers have been replaced with red canvas and Peruvian stripes. And a framed graphic hangs on the forward bulkhead that reads, "I and love and you." Why do all this work for a trip you'll never take? I say out loud, but it's another question without an answer. I wipe my eyes on the sleeve of my t-shirt. One of the things I've learned is that suicide doesn't break a person's heart just once. It takes me the rest of the morning to clean the boat, unload the contents of my car, and stow everything away. Traces of Ben are everywhere. A saucepan at the bottom of the hanging locker, an expired six-pack of Heineken in the cockpit lazarette, a moldy orange life jacket stuffed in the refrigerator. I throw these things in the trash, but even with my spider plant hanging from an overhead handrail and my books lining the shelf, the boat belongs to Ben. He chose it, he did the renovations, he charted the course, he set the departure date. My presence feels like a layer as temporary as dust. The last thing in my trunk is a shoebox filled with photos, taken using Ben's old Polaroid. A dried hibiscus flower from our first date, a handful of dirty, sexy love letters, and a suicide note. I take out a single photo. Ben and me at the Hillsborough Inlet Lighthouse, about a week before he died, and stash the box in the bottom drawer of the navigation station. I tape the photo to the wall in the V-berth, right above my pillow. And it's time to go. My only plan was to spend today in bed, my only plan since Ben's death. But I was startled out of sleep by an alarm. The notification on my phone said, "Today is the day, Anna. We're going sailing." Ben had programmed the event into my calendar almost 3 years ago, on the day he showed me his sailboat and asked me to sail the world with him. And I had forgotten. I cried until my eyelashes hurt, because there is no longer a we, and I've forgotten how to be me without Ben. Then I got out of bed and started packing. I've never been sailing without Ben. I don't always get the terminology correct. It's a line, Anna, not a rope. And I'll be lucky if I make it to the end of the river. But I am less afraid of what might become of me while sailing alone in the Caribbean than of what might become of me if I stay. My boss calls as I'm untying the dock lines, no doubt wondering if I'm coming in. But I don't answer. He'll figure it out in a day or two. I radio the drawbridge at Andrews Avenue for an opening and slowly putter away from the dock, the engine chugging and choking after being silent for months. The current pulls me downriver as I guide the sailboat between the open bridge spans. Once I'm through, I'm passed by a large sport fishing boat. A guy wearing an aqua-colored fishing shirt waves to me from the back deck. He's no more than a couple of years older than I am, and good-looking in an outdoorsy, sun-bleached way. I wave back. I motor past high-rise condos, sleek white mega-yachts, and a gridwork of canals lined with homes so large my mother's house would barely fill the first floor. She's never been one to dream of mansions, but 4 people occupying a 2-bedroom house is at least one too many. Mom says she loves having all her girls under one roof, but moving back home was not something I ever imagined. My life